Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hi, hello, how are my lovelies, my amazing people out there? Okay, let's get some boiling hot patty tea. And if you like it cold, just hold the ice. Yeah, hold the ice because whoo. But just know that I am going to be talking about somebody a lot, on and off, to the point where you're never going to know when I'm going to bring them up. And I need, like, over the years, I guess with all of the trauma and all of the things that I have been through in my life, it has now equipped me with creating amazing villains. And I always need villains' names and characters' names. And also, especially once you prove that you are at least even just 0.0000001% bigot, I have the right to talk about you. Spill the tea and everything. Karma, yeah, karma hits hard, doesn't it? Karma is like a frisbee. So if I see people who are mean and degrading and awful and vile and dehumanizing other people, including myself, I will tell the story. I will tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Okay. And so I'm still trying to think of a nickname, you know, because I want something that fits. Not like fitted jeans, because I don't, I got a curvy figure, so, yeah. To me, curvy jeans are overrated, but, ooh, maybe into, one of those little black dresses. Hi, but just know, especially with politics now, I'm going to talk a lot more about politics. I'm going to talk a lot more about issues within the Black community and people of color because, and even show how a lot of people of color have hated on us throughout American history and even current day. Is like, look at my screenshots. So many of the people who hate on Black women, especially, are people of color. It's like they call us, some of them even call us slaves and monkeys and things. And so when we have an orange man in the White House as president showing memes and gifts and all this other stuff that's racist, when he says and does racist and bigoted things, do you think Black women are surprised? When you guys voted him in, remember, reflection. A lot of people saw a little bit of themselves in him, even though he kept showing his bigotry. People let it slide because they have a little of that in them. They could relate to him. They think it's okay, or as long as they have that little black friend or that little black boyfriend. Isn't that right? Toxicity. Well, I mean, it's not Mrs. Toxicity anymore because, yeah, we both know what happened. So I'll call you Miss Toxicity for right now until I find a perfect nickname, you know. But yeah, I'm going to talk a lot about politics because, especially when it comes to the economy, I think we're going to have to buckle our seatbelts because the Supreme Court just ruled on something. I know a lot of Republicans, oh, they're not going to rule on this. They're going to dismiss it. They're going to do blah, 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 blah. Well, the orange man lost this case with the tariffs. Oops. Oops. Yeah, because even when they first started doing the tariffs, yeah, I was grabbing some popcorn because I'm like, this is getting interesting, especially when it came to Canada. And that was around the same time that the orange man was trying to invite Canada to be a 51st state and Greenland, and like he was like, you can be a state, you can be a state, kind of like that Oprah give, yeah. And everyone was passing because they saw what was going on. And also they're their own country, they have their own culture, and I believe both Canada and Greenland have free health insurance, and their educational system in both countries are more affordable. And actually, yeah, their K through 12 is, yeah, yeah. I'll see if yeah, it's like sometimes I have time to show the receipts and everything, but you all know that my channel is as messy as my life. So I'm going to go over this again. So I have more opportunities to show the receipts and things. And you guys have Bing and Google and all the other stuff too. So yeah, you can look it up too. But I know Greenland was just like, we're good. Yeah, we have free education, we have free health insurance, and then even with their real estate, I mean, who, and it's run by a woman too. So a lot of these men, we can't have a female leader. Mm. Greenland, yeah, I think they disagree with that one. They disagree with that one. Nice try, yeah. But then even with gas prices are going up because remember what the orange man said before, the election, that he's going to be the peace president, he's going to be the peaceful one, and there's going to be no wars, and he's going to even end the wars that were, that started or are still going and everything. But now he's trying to say he ended like 7 wars or something, even though that some of the countries, it doesn't really make sense because they're not even next to each. Yeah. But and he wants the Nobel Peace Prize, and he still wants one even though he took another woman's proudly, boldly. And everyone now is like, so many companies are now making up awards to give to this man, like participation trophies. And again, he says he's the peaceful one, but now might be going to, like, with everything this man said before the election, that he was going to accomplish all of these things. Like, what has he accomplished? What has he accomplished? Other than bringing to light whole milk, and which whole it is. Yeah, it's like also with autism and the spectrum. Like, remember that hot mess? Remember that hot mess? Oh, we're gonna come up with the problem and the issue and blah. But yeah, we don't have any scientific data to back this up. Mm. And now doing a lot of things with reverse racism. Let's think about that. Let's think about that. Says the same, and I'm going to keep repeating because I need to make sure a lot of people understand the the criticalness and how we're repeating history and how we're going back in time to when a lot of the colonizing people thought America was great, was when African Americans didn't have the freedom. It's like even one of the orange man's friends was talking about how black people were better during Jim Crow days. Shut up. You have the nerve to say that. Have that nerve to say that. But we're going back in time because it's like now the African American farmers weren't allowed in that meeting. And some people might be like, why? Like, isn't this your fourth or fifth time saying, yes, it probably is. Because you don't know, even like I've mentioned this on and off at least like 6 months ago and a year ago, how 2 times since I believe right before, no, right after segregation. Yeah, it was right after segregation, and even about a few years ago. It's like I believe it was through the Supreme Court, but they were like, our country was found guilty for being discriminatory and racist against African American farmers, and they were supposed to have given the African American farmers millions of dollars because it's like our country had laws to the point where it made it like 10 to 20 times harder for the African American farmers to be able to get a hold of some of the money and funds that the white farmers got their hands on. And so they were supposed to have gotten it back, but guess who got into office right before they were supposed to get the money? The Orange Man. And who canceled that? The Orange Man. But then they were supposed to have a farmers meeting about a month ago. And who was refused? Who was turned around? And who was told they cannot go to that meeting? And then who blamed it on DEI? So then every single person in that meeting was white. Yeah. And then we even had a white supremacist be interviewed with part of Congress within the last couple of weeks and talking about reverse racism and everything like that, and had the nerve to say that something about white people not getting enough like small business loans or something like that. It was something in that arena. But at the same time, I think it was 2024 when a lot of like white business owners went to this nonprofit that was a nonprofit for black women and peace and well black women and women of color. It was because black women, I believe it was 0.0001 of business small business loans are given to black women. Yeah. And so this nonprofit was to help more black women be able to get business loans because of the offset, because of the unfairness, because like a lot of black women have harder times being able to get access to that money. One reason because of history and because a lot of white pet families they have like more ownership of either real estate or capital or like savings or whatever. A lot of African American families where some of our families are just now getting out. So being able to get the business loans, no, it's but then we had it's like this the white supremacist group sued and at first they lost because the judge saw like no, African American women they have such a small percentage of business loans in total. So no. But then they went back and sued again to a higher court. And then second time they lost. So then they had to shut down. Then they had to shut down. So now so many African American women and women of color who want business loans, now they have to go and look elsewhere. But it's hard enough. It's already hard enough for us. But now it's going to be like it's right back to being as hard as it was before. So when our when the orange guy said make America great again, yeah, he meant that for especially the white colonizing men, the able-bodied straight white man. It's like he doesn't care, like, because even again the lawsuit with Nike, and I believe another one has come up too. I'm gonna recheck, but yeah, it's like I was doing some reading and everything, but yeah, because now the like our justice system has now accused Nike of not hiring enough white people. Interesting. Interesting. So I don't know. It's just politically now we have to look around and see what all is happening. And then we also have to look at what they're trying to do with our young women. I mean, I guess I'm glad that, I'm now a mature woman. But yeah, still like some of you guys, like even 18-year-olds, 18 through early 30 guys, stop trying to write me on the dating apps. Stop it. Stop like I mean early 30s, but nah, it's like, oh, I laugh at the 20-year-olds because I even asked them. I was like, "Are you bored? Are you bored, babies, or do you have mommy issues?" I've been asking that lately because and they're like, no, I want a mature woman. I want a real woman. Most of these women don't know or don't have anything to talk about. And Other than knowing how to tie your shoe, what, like, no. Stop it. Stop it. But anyway, it's just interesting. And yes, okay, I know. A lot of people are going to say, yes, you guys know a lot more back in my 20s. Yes, you. The thing is, you know a lot, but then you don't know a lot. It's like you are, especially being a new adult, you automatically think you know everything. Or since you crossed the go on the Monopoly board and now you're 18, now that you're 21, now that you can either like drink and you can drive, or don't drink and drive. Okay, separate. You can drink, comma, you can drive, comma, you can have a job and have your own paycheck and have a little bit of freedom. Yeah. You think you now know everything, and that now you can tell previous generations what they should or should have done and things like that, when you haven't lived long enough to understand yourself. But now it's funny because a lot of the politicians now want marriage to start younger, and they even want to have like a marriage expiration date for young women, even creating these marriage camps, which thank baby Jesus, black baby Jesus, thank you, hallelujah. I did not, no, no, oh, no, no. I've already told you guys about a few of the guys, like especially No Heart and Lockakey. No, yeah. But it's funny that the people that they did marry, like when I look at their wives, I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah. For Lockakey, I'm like, yeah, you found the perfect one. She's a hot mess. In my opinion, of course. In my opinion. But yeah, it's like, oddly enough, yeah, both of them has done a lot. Like, I'm seeing a pattern when dating guys, especially when the guy like leaves the woman or the woman leaves the guy. For some reason, the woman is still a hater. The woman is still all pressed up on him. The woman still thinks that's her man, even though they're not together, even though they're broken up, even though, especially, she broke up with him. But then they want to call me the N word, or not all of them, but each one has done something bigoted. Because remember what Mr., No Heart's wife said. Once the orange guy gets in office, I'm gonna buy her and whip her until she passes away. Mm. And then Lockakey, there's a couple. But yeah, because his now wife, because she still doesn't understand. When I broke up with him, I celebrated. See, when I break up with men, I celebrate. I'm like, I mean, yes, at first it's just like, oh, wow. I wasted all that time. That's what I'm thinking. I can't believe I tolerated him. I wasted that much time. But then I have to remember the trauma that I went through all of my life, and my mom telling me, as long as you walk like that, no one's ever going to want you, love you, or marry you. So then I thought I was expected, or I had to take what I could get. And then I kept thinking I had to have a leftover or whatever. And so I kept settling and everything because I was just trying to prove her wrong. But I didn't have to. And yes, does that mean I'm going to have the untraditional like type of relationship? Yes, of course, because I'm not traditional anyway. I'm out of the box. I'm anything but a cookie cutter, which is why I'm a gray sheep and I love it. I love being a gray sheep. Which, oh yeah, I'm going to be working on the merchandise and things like that pretty soon too. So yeah, once the candles and the greeting cards and but yeah, the novel's going to be a little later this year, but I'm working on it. And all of the other projects and stuff, I'm so excited. But yeah, it's like the website will be together. But anyways, yeah, just no. Just no. But yeah, I'm not a cookie cutter. And one reason I'm going to keep speaking my mind and talking about politics in my way, because it affects me. And I'm going to hold on to my empathy and sympathy and compassion and my heart and my spirit, because I feel like our country needs more. And a lot of the Christian people aren't doing it. So, yeah, I'm needed even more to, like, because I'm a Christian, but I'm not a, yeah, I'm not that flavor of Christian. Yeah, you got MAGA Christian. That's a flavor. I'm just like never. Then you got Republican Christian. Yeah, mild or spicy or dang, you out your mind. And then yeah, it's like yeah. So I'm not in that. I'm Democrat Christian, where like when I tell people, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, they're like, oh okay, girl, yeah, no wonder I get okay, yeah, it's like you cool, like, yeah, I'm one of those. I'm the safe one. So I'm the one that actually knows what love and forgiveness and empathy and sympathy and everything like that means. And, love thy neighbor. I know what that means. I'm not going to call ICE on you. No. And I don't think anybody is illegal, because especially how this country was taken over and stolen, and how they basically try to eliminate all Native Americans because they couldn't enslave them because they were so dumb. They didn't realize, oh, these people have been on these lands for so long, they know it backwards and forwards and better than the back of their hands. So then they went and kidnapped my ancestors and brought them over. But then till this day, we still have white supremacist type people. We have bigots, racists, and all these other people who think that black people need to beg for the forgiveness or pay reparations to them. Yeah. Even though the highways was built based off of racism. And then they refused us education until we had to build our own colleges and universities. But now we have, yeah, the same group of ignorant, naive, stupid, white people who think, if there's black colleges and universities, we need white ones. All of them were that's why we built the black ones. Idiots. Stupid. Oh my gosh. And this is why we need more African American history taught up in the schools, especially with the expressways and highways, because sometimes when I hear some of these white people talk, I'm just like, oh my God, like, you weren't taught a daggone thing. And I know this for a fact because I know I was teaching at one of the schools, and I like I said one of the anniversaries, which was an African American type of history, and it was kind of related to desegregation. And one of the students was like, no one is alive anymore that went through desegregation. Guys, if you actually think that, if you like, you need to look up your history, because that's horrifying. If you think that is true, I know for a fact either you didn't go to a good school, your parents, they were like mum's the word, because they were probably in some of those postcards or pictures where strange fruit is hanging from the tree, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, if you actually think there's no one, like, yeah, yeah, I no wonder the person who is in the White House has ended up in the White House. Yeah, no wonder. But I'm just, especially when it comes to black jobs, especially when it comes to disability rights, and the fact that so many people on a daily basis they judge all of my demographics basically. And because a lot of white people don't understand their privilege, and some white women are just now waking up to, yeah, they're some of them already knew that they got the most benefit out of DEI and other laws and things like that, but it didn't really hit them until they had it taken away, because some of them thought, oh, it doesn't matter. If it's taken away, I'm still going to benefit. It's like, oh, well, since I'm, white, I'm okay. It's like, I'm deserving of the job. I'm deserving of this. I'm deserving of anything and everything I want. I'm going to get my way. Remember, this is colonizing white. So, yeah, it was like, there's Underground Railroad and there's colonizing. So, yeah, I'm talking about the Underground Railroad right now. Remember, there's, two totally different type of people. Because the Underground Railroads, they're more likely to get an invitation to the cookout, and they know not to bring potato salad with some raisins and mess in it. Am I right? Amen. So it's just, oh, we have to. It's just really sad because at the end of the day, Black women, we try to uplift everybody because we know how it feels to be put down. And like I've been saying throughout this messy episode, people, like, everybody loves hating on us. Everyone loves laughing at us while taking our fashion and our hairstyles and our culture and our assets. It's like how many women have been plumping up. They go into basements and different, even places that are illegal, and plump up their butt, their lips, and everything in between. Who, like, what type of women do you say are so beautiful? A lot of white women who have African American type features. Yeah, it's just kind of crazy. They don't want to get the Crown Act passed federally because of bigotry, but yeah, we get judged, like I get judged on a daily basis, Black women especially, on a daily basis, but then having a disability, I'm told that I can't, or especially the toxic person, or the the toxic person who can't get over a man. Yeah, she really, she, she had the nerve to call me out my name. But having a disability is something majority of people are going to find out about as they get older. And a lot of people who they want rights taken away or benefits taken away from those who either were born with disabilities or got it through serving in the, in the wars and in the army and air service and everything like that. People who got into accident, like all different types of reasons. People want to judge and put us down. But then part of me just says, okay, maybe write your thoughts about the disability community today. And then once you retire or even maybe end up in the senior citizen home, open that letter up and see what you wrote and see if you still think that. And what do you think about us? Like, oh, this is for the non-Black people, people of color and white people. Write about what you think about Black people. And then maybe like put in an envelope. And then maybe try to talk to some Black people. Maybe even volunteer at a place where maybe other like Black people are volunteering too. Force yourself to talk to us, to get to know us. You act like we're the boogeyman. Yeah, Mr. Alakaki was the one I had to always keep my purse away from because he wanted to, he stole. I lost count of how many times and how much that man stole from me and took from me. And then yeah, so many people are afraid of Black people. When do you know how many white people I know who they should be in jail right now? How many times they lied and stole and just, oh. But anyway. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.